All right, everybody. This week on Top 5, we are listing our favorite actors of all time.
Welcome to Top 5 with Joey Cassata. Starring Joey Cassata.
Team Jesus, my friend. No! Am I walking around, Mark?
Co-starring Ernie Palooza. And the Doctor, Tommy Snyder.
Goddamn.
Now here's your host, Joey Cassata.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Top 5. I'm your host, Joey Cassata.
And I'm Chris Helmsworth.
Chris who?
Helmsworth.
Say that really, really fast. 5 times.
Chris Helmsworth.
How do you think we spell Helmsworth? What's happening, Ern? What's going on?
Oh, just so excited to be here tonight. I missed doing the show.
I heard you were so excited today. What was going on with your belly this afternoon?
My belly was even more excited than the rest of my body, and it was not a good day at work.
What kind of noises was it making?
It sounded like a toilet flushing. That's what my belly sounded like.
I mean, you must have been very excited for tonight's show.
That has to be it.
Has to be. Even though I don't think we had the topic yet when I first texted you.
Oi. Yep.
But we got to go. People are going to complain. The Doctor was supposed to make his return this week, but he's MIA. No idea where he is.
His return to the bar?
I think so. He's back at the Gravely graveyard. No idea where he is. I said if you want to do it, text me. Never heard from him. So just me and you again, Ern.
Hey, I'm glad we still have the intro so I can remember what he's like.
You know what? I'm giving him 2 more episodes. If he's not back, he's coming off the intro. Screw him.
Uh-oh. Penalty.
Banned. He's banned. We got a good topic today. We were back and forth with a couple different ones. I don't know how we haven't really gone here yet, but this was Ernie's suggestion. We're going to be listing our favorite actors of all time. I have a feeling we're going to have some duplicates. What do you think?
I think 4 out of my 5 are going to be on your list.
Oh, no. This is not going to be a good show then.
I'm not saying for sure.
I say 3 of the 5 are the same. That's what I say. 3.
It's like busting spade, Joe. We got to bet how many.
And you're saying 4? No way 4.
Okay. Definitely 3. Definitely 3.
Yeah, definitely 3. There's one guy you always liked more than me. I like him. You love him. And I know who it is. Speaking of which, let's start. What? No, I love me. You really love me.
That's true.
Last week's episode was fun. We did our favorite books of all time. I know it sounds boring. Got a lot of great feedback, a lot of interesting book choices from people. Most I've never heard of. Lots of Lord of the Rings and Hobbits, which is weird because, again, I think people who have read The Lord of the Ring or The Hobbit just read them because of all the hype. They're really not that good. If you like the Lord of the Rings series and The Hobbit, go read some of those other fantasy choices that I made. Way better than those books. Those are great movies, but not great books.
I hypothesize that people that love the Lord of the Rings books never read them.
Yeah, you know what? You're almost 1,000% right. Especially now that the movies are out. At least before the movies, you would have had to been, a real Lord of the Rings fan and watch the cartoons like we used to. But now that the movies are out, and there's even a new series coming out, right?
That's been coming out for a decade now. We'll see when we see it.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, you had to be a Zeppelin fan, though. like Lord of the Rings.
I don't know if was it you that first told me about Gollum and the Evil One.
Yep.
It's amazing. I love it. Yeah, if anyone who's never heard Ramble On, go listen to Ramble On. How Plant is talking about Gollum and the Evil One. Incredible.
One of Robert Plant's bands before Zeppelin was named Hobbiton.
Is that true?
Yeah, I don't make stuff up.
And that's, that's way before the movies, obviously. So you can definitely say Plant read Lord of the Rings. But, at that time, that was the staple for fantasy books back then. There were no, that was the first of really the first of that genre. So I get it. Back then, I understand they were so different than everything else. They probably were great. But now me as a kid in the 80s, I had a lot of other stuff to choose from. And when I read Lord of the Rings, I love the storylines. I just didn't love his writing. It's very slow and lethargic.
Yeah, it's not great. It ain't for me, though.
Speaking of slow and lethargic, what do you got, Ern? Number 5. Best actor.
One of them that I don't think you're going to have on your list. Gary Oldman.
Definitely not. I like him, but...
Yeah, he's great in every movie he does.
You have a seat, boy. You have your soap or egg roll. We got everything here from a little eye Joe to damn if I know. I think you're too scared to be eaten. Let's see. We're sitting down here, ready to negotiate. You've already given up your shit. I'm still a mystery to you. But I know exactly where your white ass is coming from.
Started in '86 playing Sid Vicious in Sid and Nancy, all the way to Commissioner Gordon, Sirius Black, and even Dracula.
Very nice.
I particularly loved The Professional, by the way, where he's the bad guy.
I loved him in True Romance.
Oh, yeah.
So he's amazing in that. Amazing.
A lot of great actors in that one.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies of all time. So good. Very underrated. People don't talk about that. They don't talk about True Romance the way they talk about Pulp Fiction and, a lot of those types of movies. Reservoir Dogs. True Romance is right up there in that same genre.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good choice. Again, yeah, I don't know, he just never did it for me. I do love most of his stuff, but I can't put him in my top 5, but he's good. I like him.
Cool.
All right, my number 5. I don't think you're going to have my number 5. And then after this, we're going to start duplicating a lot of stuff. So this might be a 15-minute episode. My number 5 is the handsome, the charming no, not Ernie. Mr. Paul Newman.
I can eat 50 eggs.
That's it, baby. In front of that one. There.
Stuff it in there, jam it down in there, get it in.
That's the last one in there now,
He's
baby.
got to swallow it all before the time's up. He's got to swallow it all before the time's up.
10,
Get it down there.
9, 8,
Get it down there.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hold it! He didn't swallow the last.
No, he didn't swallow it.
You think so, huh? Well, let's take a look here. Open that mouth. Yes, sir.
Not on my list.
Always loved him, everything about him. He's just so cool. Obviously, starting with, I love Cool Hand Luke, one of my favorite movies of all time. The Hustler, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. And then, then you go into like Slapshot and stuff like that. And Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. So many great, The Sting. Just when he's on the screen, he's so charismatic that, your eyes lock to him. He takes over whatever scene he's in. And I always find that that's a sign of a really good actor, where you see other actors kind of struggling to stay with him. And I don't even mean just sharpness and dialogue, just charisma. When he's on the screen, there's something about him that takes over the screen.
I love Cool Hand Luke.
So good.
I'll tell you, our first choices really show who me and you are. Where you chose Newman and I chose Oldman.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think. Look at that. Nicely done. Newman and Oldman. Nice.
Exactly who we are.
All right, I think we're off to a pretty good start here. What do you got? Now I have a big problem. I think we're going to be duplicating. I think the next three might be duplicated.
My next one, number 4, Jack Nicholson.
Has it ever occurred to you what would happen to my future if I were to fail to live up to my responsibilities? Has it ever occurred to you? Has it?
Stay away from me. Please. Don't hurt me.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Stay away from me.
Wendy,
Stay away.
darling, light of my life. I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
I've heard of him.
Cuckoo's Nest, The Shining, The Departed, Chinatown. And one of my favorite roles I want to point out is As Good as It Gets, which I thought was really one of his best. But he really can't do no wrong.
I literally just watched Good as It Gets. It was on the middle of the night the other night. I was up. I mean, I know everyone remembers the "you can't handle the truth." That, don't get me wrong, that's incredible, that scene. But all the stuff in the courtroom when he's still cool and collective, and he's really almost interrogating Tom Cruise instead of the other way around. He's so good. Again, one of those guys, when he's on the screen, whew, nobody's going to touch him.
We have one issue, though. We're not talking about the same movie.
What? As Good as It Gets, Few Good Men I'm talking about. You're right. I'm sorry.
Otherwise, we're doing great.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
What we have here is
failure to communicate. Yes, I don't know what and it's so funny. Just Jack is gonna be on my list later too. I have As Good as It Gets too, and I was shut up. But they're both very good.
Agreed.
But Good as It Gets, he's such a old miserable guy. It's so good. He's so great in that.
Every time he opens his mouth is a laugh.
Gold.
Yeah.
Gold, Jerry. Gold.
Yep.
All right. That's a good one. I know my number 4 is on your list. So again, listen, I was going to take some of these guys off because I know you have them, but I can't. This is my list, right?
Only the doctor does that crap.
Yeah, doctor substitute. He doesn't know what he's doing. He just wants more time to talk. That's what it is. All right, my number 4. You ready?
Yes. Does he have the same initials as you?
Yes, he does. Mr. James Cagney.
It's time, Rocky. You ready?
Yeah. You figure on going in with me?
I'd like to, Rocky. That is, if you can, if you wish. Do you mind, Father?
Certainly not. That's better. Be kind of lonesome going down that last mile.
I don't want to die, oh, please. I don't want to die, oh, please. Oh, don't make me burn now.
Yeah, he's on my list. So
yeah, I know. Again, you talk about him, and I'll talk about my guys again, too. But Cagney, I think I introduced you to Cagney, right, Aaron?
No.
You definitely introduced me to Cagney. I was definitely one of those guys, even though I'm Honeymooners is my favorite show ever, and a lot of black and white TV I've always been into my whole life, Lucy and Leave It to Beaver. I was one of those guys that could never get into black and white movies until you started. I think Cagney was the first stuff you showed me black and white, I'm assuming. And then we really got crazy. Like, you went all the way back to silent movies, and we went nuts. But the Cagney stuff it's so good. And his act, listen, it's different. People will say that, oh, he's not a great actor. It's so over the top. Acting back then is different than it is now. Acting back then was over the top. It was more theater acting than TV and movies because that's where they came from. TVs and movies were brand new. So the acting in those, those old gangster movies are ridiculous and over the top and bigger than life, but that's how it was back then. It's no fault of his own. That's what people wanted. But then when you see, obviously all the gangster movies Cagney was in, but then stuff like Yankee Doodle Dandy, when he's singing and tap dancing and is again just the screen is on fire when he's on there. But then possibly my favorite Cagney movie, The Time of Your Life. It's just, again, it's one of those movies you introduced me to. You told me the whole backstory that Cagney almost got blacklisted for making this movie. And the movie literally is about nothing. I will guarantee you nobody else I don't even know of anyone else. I don't know one other person besides the people in our group that has even heard of this movie, never mind watched it.
So incredibly weird.
It's just about nothing. It's about this rich guy that sits in a bar all day and just kind of people watches, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a watcher of people.
Yep. And he just, he doesn't even like to get up to dance, right? I don't even like to walk.
I don't even like to walk.
War! It's a movie that I always thought about, eventually if I ever, broke into the movies more and stuff like that. It's something that I almost wanted to remake. It's that good. And to have a big actor to play the Cagney character, it's just about nothing. They're in a bar, interaction with the people coming in and out of the bar, but his acting is so, so great in it.
I love him so much that when I come to mention him later, I'm going to pretend you didn't even choose him.
All right. What do you got? Number 3.
Here's where 3 and 2, it can go back and forth here. And this argument has been going on with us for years. Number 3, I chose De Niro.
What's the matter? Lighten up. Let's get to work on that after we work on this, of course.
How did you get here?
We walked in the door. What do you mean, how did we get here? Jerry, what's the matter with you?
How did you get here?
I think you're upset. I'm going to leave my material here. We'll talk later. You've got more important things to worry about. We'll just take a stroll around, wait till lunchtime.
Did anyone ever tell you you're a moron?
You know, Jerry, I want to tell you something. Ordinarily, I wouldn't allow anybody to speak that way about Rita. But since it's you, I know you're only kidding. He's a real character.
And I'm sure you can guess what my number 2 is. That it's like
yes,
hand in hand. The two of them are actually tied together in history in a lot of ways. All my favorite movies are covered by these two guys. With Goodfellas, Godfather 2, Raging Bull, The King of Comedy, Cape Fear, and with the two of them together, to really give it away, Heat. But it's interesting. Interesting movie of De Niro's that I wanted to throw out is Awakenings.
God, so great.
Very different role for him, and it's a lot of fun to watch. It's a good role to watch. I don't know if fun might be the right word. It's a sad one.
Yeah, obviously he's on my list. You already got my next 2, so my next 2 are not going to be obviously as captivating as from when you said it, but. Yeah, I'll just go right into it. Might as well. I mean, De Niro will be later on in my list, but I mean, I'll go into more detail when I talk about him, but I can't disagree with anything you said. He's phenomenal. I will disagree with your next pick, but we'll talk about that when you go to it.
All right.
So my number 3, back to your number 4, Jack Nicholson. Again, one of those guys, just when he's on the screen, Cuckoo's Nest, Chinatown, Batman, all of these movies, they're such bigger than life roles. Maybe they're not even bigger than life roles. Shining, he makes them bigger than life. It's his characterization of, I can just see him, getting a script for these characters and then turning them into a Nicholson character. There's no way these characters are written like that. You know what I mean? He makes them what they are. And that to me is the sign of a really great actor. He's, like you said, as good as it gets, later on in his career when he's a little older, but all his younger stuff, Chinatown, most people, I guess it was a big movie, but nowadays you won't find a lot of people that know Chinatown unless they're our age, right?
Yeah, I see what it's kind of getting lost to history. It didn't win any Oscars.
People, yeah, just people. I think I don't know if it's because it's so old or because it's early Nicholson, but when you people talk about Nicholson, they talk about Few Good Men, they talk about The Shining, of course. They talk about all his, when he's really crazy, Nicholson. Chinatown is unbelievable.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah, so I mean, I can just rehash all the stuff you said, but Nicholson, Cuckoo's Nest is to me at his all-time best. That's his peak of his powers right there. He's as good as The Shining is. Cuckoo's Nest is undeniable. Not only him, but the cast of characters in Cuckoo's Nest. I think you might have picked it when we did our favorite movies. Is that your favorite movie of all time?
Yep.
I mean, Nicholson, you got the Joker and the Penguin in that movie. So come on, how can you lose?
Oh, and the Doctor from Back to the Future.
Yes, yeah. Oh my God, so many great character actors in that movie. Cast is superb. All right, I know where you're going with number 2.
Shocking. Al Pacino.
I'm reloaded! Okay? Come on in here, motherfuckers! Come on, I'm waiting for you! You think you're big time? You're gonna fucking die big time!
Now I know you're gonna argue, and that's okay. That's what this is for. But I don't know if I got the order right. I mean, I think I like Pacino a little better than De Niro. And as I get older, I think Pacino has an edge. I think. But listen to this list: Godfather, Dog Day Afternoon, Serpico, Carlito's Way.
Oh, it's a good one.
Son of a Woman.
Oh,
Roscoe.
Yeah.
I think he's got a little bit of an edge. It's so close though.
I want to yell at you, but I mean, yes, all of those movies are incredible. Scent of a Woman, which I actually forgot about. Of course, Donnie Brasco. Obviously Godfather, but Carlito to me might be him again at his peak. I love him in Carlito. But something about, I think De Niro and Pacino, weirdly, that they're such big, famous actors that people think are maybe the 2 best of all time. They have a lot of crappy roles, too, throughout their careers. They did a lot of crap. But the great movies are all-time greats. But something about Pacino's acting over the years, I'm the opposite. When I was young, I don't know if I would ever be able to pick out of the two of them. Hand in hand, go back and forth. But now as I get older and I go back and watch some of Pacino's stuff, even Scarface, some of the stuff in Heat, he's sometimes too over the top. What's the new one he just did? The Irishman?
Yeah.
Right? Didn't like him at all in The Irishman. I thought it was so far over the top, over the edge. That's where Pacino loses me sometime when he goes, even Carlito's a little over the edge too. Don't get me wrong. But this De Niro is just more grounded, I think, where Pacino goes a little too far with the overacting sometimes.
You want to see Pacino at his most overacting, you got to check out The Devil's Advocate.
Oh, good. Yeah, of course. Good point.
But you ever see a movie called The Insider?
I think I saw that. Is he a cop?
No, in The Insider, he works for the TV show 60 Minutes.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
I love this movie. I love The Insider.
Yeah, I don't know it.
It's a Michael Mann movie. I think it's the movie Michael Mann made right after Heat.
Oh, really? So this is late 90s, mid 90s?
I'm going to guess 99.
I will check it out. Again, don't get me wrong. I love Pacino, but I don't include him on this list because of the things I said. I think, he's still one of my favorite. His movies, off the charts. Every movie you named, incredible. Dog Day. Another one of those movies I think gets lost in the shuffle over the years, Dog Day. People don't remember that. Obviously, they remember The Godfather. They remember Scarface. People don't go back and watch Dog Day where, it's based on the true story that happened in Brooklyn. Just, phenomenal.
I love Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, me too.
But if you want to talk about movies that were huge when I was young and now I'll never even mentioned, And Justice for All.
Oh, my God, yeah. I forgot all about that. You're right.
When I was little, that movie was like considered Pacino as the greatest when that came out.
God, I haven't even seen that in gotta be 20 years. Yeah, that's something I'd like to go back to.
I gotta tell you, about what you said about Pacino. I mean, the show, me and you, we're brothers, and I love you. But don't ever go against the family again.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'll argue Pacino, but I understand your pick. It's a little juvenile because, you're not that educated, but I get it. My number 2, again, is your number 3, you son of a bitch. Got to go De Niro. All the stuff you named, of course, Godfather 2, but just like Dog Day on Pacino, the forgotten De Niro amazing role is king of comedy. He is so good in this movie. I remember the first time I saw this, I don't even know. I was like middle of the night, saw this movie come on. I had no interest in watching it. I saw it was De Niro. Didn't even know like it was this weird dark comedy. He's so great in this movie that no one ever talks about this movie anymore. Why? Was that a big hit, Ern?
We're talking 83. No, I don't remember it being huge.
Right, I don't either. Jerry Lewis, obviously. Who else is in it?
Sandra Bernhard.
Yeah. Just it's just so good. But again, and then there's stuff like Taxi Driver to me hasn't aged as well as it once was. I think when I remember being a kid, Taxi Driver was, oh my God, Taxi Driver is incredible. I never find myself going back to Taxi Driver anymore.
I would say the same thing also about Mean Streets.
Yeah, I agree. My memory of Mean Streets is way better than the movie. I saw it not that long ago again. It's not as good as I remember.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, Awakening, stuff like that. De Niro shows his diversity.
Even Cape Fear.
Yeah. Yeah, Cape Fear still lives up too. All right. We're at our number 1. I know yours, but let me recap. Number 5, Gary Oldman. Number 4, Jack Nicholson. Number 3, Robert De Niro. Number 2, Al Pacino. Number 1, what do you got?
Is it any question? Obviously, Adam Sandler.
Again.
Sorry.
Come on.
Cagney's my number 1. Angels with Dirty Faces, one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. It's my second favorite movie of all time, and it's close. It gets up there. Then there's White Heat, also a perfect movie for me. I don't think any of these other guys could have done Yankee Doodle Dandy.
No way.
Everyone knows Public Enemy, 1931, but he released 5 other movies that same year.
What? Really?
Yeah, 6 movies in 1931. And then he did Ragtime over 50 years after his first movie.
Crazy.
And one day, I wouldn't be surprised if me and you do an entire podcast on the movie The Time of Your Life.
It's not a bad idea. We could literally do, I remember it being a pretty short movie. We could do a watch along and just have the movie playing on our podcast and me and you do commentary.
Like Mystery Science Theater 3000?
We will literally have no viewers. But I will enjoy it immensely. And which is real, honestly, and I say it every week, that's what this is for. Just tonight, getting the And Justice for All now I know, now I want to go back and watch that. And even, doing my research too, I forgot Paul Newman, The Verdict. I haven't seen that in so long. Got to go watch that immediately.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Classic.
But I would love to do a Time of Your Life episode.
And if the copyright screws up, maybe we could just reenact it ourselves.
Yeah, even better. But first of all, the copyright will not screw up because no one's ever heard of it. No one knows that movie. It's impossible.
Oh, even Colleen loves it.
So let me ask seriously. So I didn't see that first, of course. I saw all the other main Cagney movies, and I was a fan of Cagney before I saw that movie. Same with you?
Yeah, this movie I came across total accident.
So let me ask you this. Do you think if we're recommending movies to people, I don't know if someone can start, if they don't know Cagney that well, you can't just watch Time of Your Life and appreciate that movie. I don't think you can.
I think you're better off starting with White Heat and Angels.
Agreed.
I don't even recommend Public Enemy too much anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't. I agree. That it's so old, it doesn't live up as much.
I mean, the grapefruit scene is hysterical.
Oh, well, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, tell a little bit of the story behind Time of Your Life, how Cagney wanted to make this movie, but he was the biggest star in Hollywood at that time doing gangster movies.
Well, Time of Your Life was 48, and he wanted to start branching out. He's obviously being typecast. So he creates this movie, with his own money and everything. And when it was released, the movie companies actually paid movie theaters not to show it, to really to destroy the movie, to saying it would ruin their golden goose of Cagney.
Sure.
And they had another movie ready. White Heat was the very next year. That was the movie that the movie companies had waiting for him. And obviously, you watch White Heat, it's got to be Cagney. I do agree with the movie. I do believe in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, back then, they're thinking like you said, they have their golden goose in this gangster actor, but him branching out, doing stuff like Time of Your Life, Yankee Doodle Dandy, that's what makes Cagney who he is. I love the gangster stuff, but if it was all gangster stuff, I wouldn't love him as much as I do.
You remember 1, 2, 3?
I don't remember.
When he's trying to sell Coca-Cola to the East Germans?
Oh my God, yes. Wow. But I only saw that one time, I think.
Such a funny movie.
Wow, I don't even remember a lot of it.
There's one great scene.
What year was that?
61.
What's the scene?
Incredible scene in that movie when he's meeting with the Russians. And they're giving him Cuban cigars to smoke. And he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you got these. And these are illegal. How'd you get them?" And the Russians go, "We got a deal with Cuba. They send us cigars, we send them missiles."
Nice. It's so funny. I remember being a kid when I used to hear Cuban cigars were illegal. I thought they were like, something super bad. As a kid, you don't realize it's just because we don't have any trading with Cuba. That's why they're illegal. You think it's something forbidden. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but yes, I agree. Everyone out there, if you're not a James Cagney fan, get out there and go watch some Cagney movies. I suggest I would go White Heat 1 because it's the most mainstream, I think. Then go to Angels. And then if you really start liking Cagney, go to Time of Your Life.
White Heat is more popcorn. So yeah.
Yeah. White Heat is more digestible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a great scene in White Heat where he kidnapped one of his own crew, one of the old Bay guys, and locks him in the trunk. And he's eating a piece of chicken, and the guy's crying, "There's no air." Goes, "Oh, you have no air? I'll give you some air." And he starts shooting in the trunk to make holes.
So good.
Oh, White Heat is
so great.
Remember when he kills one of his own because he's what do you call it when you're giving up? He's given up.
Surrendering?
Yeah, when he's surrendering to the cops.
Yes,
so
yes.
The gun shoots him in the back of the head.
Again, the great part about Cagney in these, especially in White Heat, he's not just a gangster. He's psychotic. He's Joe Pesci in Casino and Goodfellas before there was a Joe Pesci.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci and Michael Madsen from Reservoir Dogs.
Yep.
Michael Madsen actually said that he was channeling Cagney.
Oh, really?
In that movie, in that scene in particular that everybody talks about.
Yeah,
He says,
I mean,
I was doing James Cagney.
I mean, if you're a fan of either one of those movies or any scene with, Pesci or with in Reservoir Dogs, go back and watch these Cagney movies. You will not be disappointed. All right, back to my number 1. So let me recap. My number 5, Paul Newman. Number 4, James Cagney. Number 3, Jack Nicholson. Number 2, Robert De Niro. My number 1,
Gene Simmons.
How did you know? No. Gene's actually a pretty good actor. I like his movies. But I got to go with Rocco himself, Sylvester Stallone.
Took me long enough to get here. You 10 years to come to my house. Huh? What's the matter? You don't like my house? My house stink? That's right, it stinks!
I ain't asked no favors from you. Don't flum around me.
Talk about your prime.
What about my pride, Mick? At least you had a pride. I ain't had no pride. I ain't had nothing. Legs are going, everything is going. No one's getting them nothing. Guy comes up, offers me a fight. Big deal. Want to fight the fight? Yeah, I'll fight the big fight. I wouldn't want to fight that big fight. It was gonna happen to me. I want to get that. I want to get that. And you want me ringside and see it? Do you? You want to help me out? Huh? Do you want to see me get my face kicked in? Legs ain't working. Nothing's working. They go on, fight the chair. Yeah, I'll fight him.
My face kicked in.
And you come around here, you want to move in here with me? Come on in, it's a nice house. Real nice, come on in and move. It stinks. This whole place stinks.
Always been my favorite. And again, it's not always just about acting. It's about everything he's in. Just about, let me say, just about everything he's in. I love every Sly movie. And for people to say that, he's not a great actor, he does, he's just he plays Rocky or he plays Rambo shooting everyone. Go watch the first Rocky and the scene where Mick comes to him when Rocky wants Mick to train him, and Mick comes there, and after the while, and then Mick wants to train Rocky, and Rocky's screaming at Mickey through the door. It's such a powerful scene. Or at the end of First Blood, when his commander finds him in the barricaded up in the store, and he's crying, screaming how his friend, he couldn't find his friend's legs, and he's screaming, crying. He is a phenomenal actor. Yeah, he was an 80s action movie star, of course. So he did all of those movies. But the before they became these big blockbuster 80s action movies, the first Rocky, First Blood, which is the first Rambo, then fast forward to stuff like Copland. He is such a diverse actor. He's not Rocky. People think he's Rocky in real life. That way he's not really acting. He's acting, you idiots.
Rocky, the first one, is one of the most incredible movies of all time.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, it's great.
Yep. It's my favorite movie. His performance. And listen, I understand it gets bubblegum by the time Rocky 3 rolls around and Rocky 4, but Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 are two of my top 10 movies of all time. They're just, nonstop fun. Stallone is great in them. The drama, the action. Yeah, I understand people don't love them because they're this goofy 80s action movies, but Stallone is still great in all of these movies. Even stuff like the super underrated, over the top, one of my favorite movies, Demolition Man. I get it. I know people are going to laugh with all these other great actors we named, and I named Stallone. Stallone is up there with them and then some.
Okay.
Are you disagreeing with my Sly pick?
I don't know. Was he in Stop or My Mom Would Shoot?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
Also, Rhinestone.
Rhinestone. Yeah, sure.
That's a good one.
Over the top.
But what about Nighthawks? You see Nighthawks?
Not in a very long time.
Oh, go watch Nighthawks. Him and Billy D. Williams. Rutger Hauer is the villain. Stallone plays, this rugged cop in New York. He's got the beard in that one. He's so far from what Rocky is in that movie as the character that he plays. Just such a great cop movie, early 80s. Even stuff like Victory, when he's the soccer player. Just, he played a lot of different roles that people don't realize over the years.
When I think of Nighthawks, I think of WHT.
Yeah, me too. I used to have WHT.
Womeco.
Womeco. That was the very first. That was even before HBO. Yep. I had WHT, and I also had the HBO. Remember the antenna that looked like that, it looked like a corkscrew or something, right?
The original cable.
Yeah. Crazy. But you're right. Nighthawks, I remember watching on WHT. That's so crazy.
Yeah,
and what's so funny? Where we grew up in Brooklyn, I'm not sure if it was where you were, but in Marine Park where I was, I didn't get regular cable until the 90s. I had WHT and HBO periodically, but I didn't have like cable, all the different channels, MTV and so on and so forth, USA and all that, until the early 90s. What about you?
That sounds about right. I remember having to go to Mike Leone's just to watch MTV.
Where did Leone live?
He lived just across the street, but I don't know. But he had, I can't explain it.
No,
Yeah,
my block did not have, and again, unless who the hell knows, my mom we didn't have money to buy cable, and she probably just told me no, we can't get it yet because it's not in the area. Who the hell knows?
had to
just
go
like
over there and keep watching the Metallica 1 video over and over and over again.
Oh my God.
On TV.
Yeah, I didn't even see MTV, even in like a friend's house or anyone's house, until I think 1990 was the first time I even saw MTV because my area didn't have cable.
Well, you had U68 though.
I had the Power Hour, baby. The Thor and Raven. That's how I got introduced to all that stuff.
Yep. Queensryche,
Grim Reaper.
Oh, See You in Hell.
Yeah, of course.
No, my friends, See You in Hell.
Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, so again, back to the actors. Everyone, please let us know who your favorite actors are. It's funny, we have nobody even remotely new. Even not that he's new anymore, like a DiCaprio or even a Tom Cruise. No, we didn't have anyone even. What's the youngest guy we have on these lists, CERN? Who's the youngest guy? Is Gary Oldman the youngest? Is Oldman the youngest?
He's got to be younger than Cagney, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Stallone, Nicholson, De Niro, Newman. Well, is Newman dead now? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Stallone, Nicholson, De Niro, Pacino are all in their 70s. Cagney's dead. Newman is dead. Gary Oldman, I don't believe is in his 70s, right? He's got to be the youngest. And that's...
I'll tell you, you mentioned Tom Cruise, though. Tom Cruise is underrated, a great actor.
I agree.
And you'll see when he dies, suddenly he's going to be like incredible when he dies.
Yeah.
Everybody's distracted by all the other crazy crap right now.
I agree. Gary Oldman, 63. He's our youngest actor that we have. Okay.
Honorable mentions?
Yeah, what do you got?
My father always argues that our greatest living actor is Gene Hackman.
Ooh, he's a good one.
He says he's never done a bad movie. I also really like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Who's got more talent in his left foot than I have in my whole body.
My left
foot.
foot.
Of course, friend of the show, the incredible Greg Prosser.
Oh.
I order all my diehard groupies to immediately watch Second Chance by Greg Prosser.
I got to tell you, I agree. Greg is great. He is. Greg, a guest of the show. He's been on twice, Aaron? Once or twice?
I think only once.
Greg will be back. This would have been a good one to have Greg on. But Greg's schedule's hectic. He's a working man and he's an actor part-time. So, but you're right. He's really good. Really good. Yeah, he would be the youngest, yes. He would be the youngest. Another one of mine, again, unfortunately not living, Burt Reynolds. Always loved Burt Reynolds. You know, more for the comedy stuff. Cannonball Run is one of my favorite movies of all time. Both Smokey and the Bandit. Oh my God, what else? I mean, Jesus God, what's the football movie, Ernie?
Longest Yard.
Thank you. The original Longest Yard before Adam Sandler. God, what a great movie that is. The Adam Sandler one is not good. The Burt Reynolds one is so great. Deliverance, so many. He's done so much stuff. Another guy you don't hear about. I mean, he was the biggest actor of the 70s, probably, but you don't hear about him in the same vein as some of these big actors that we talk about.
It's because he was pigeonholed for a while, but
yeah.
Come on, Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
One of the greatest movies of the 90s. If not the greatest, is Boogie Nights.
It's a good one. Moving back to when you said Gene Hackman, you know what's a movie that I always try to like of Gene Hackman's movie, and I don't get the fascination with it. Hoosiers.
The basketball movie?
Yep, I don't like it. I love sports movies, which that's another good topic we got to do one of these days. Never liked Hoosiers. I don't get it. It doesn't do anything for me. You like that movie?
I don't even know if I ever saw it.
It's no Rambo 3, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
This was a good one. Everyone, send your emails to top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. Let us know your favorite actors of all time. I'd love to hear some younger opinions, to hear, what the kids today like, Ern. You know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
I wonder what my daughter's picks would be for favorite actors. God, I think the Jonas Brothers, and it wouldn't be good.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I watch High School Musical, the musical, the show, the program, the show, the hit. What is it called again?
High School, the musical, the series.
Yes, I watched the first season. Really enjoyed it.
It's great. Oh,
yeah,
it's
love
very
it.
underrated.
Yeah, I was a big Glee fan too. Glee I loved, and that's what got me into this. I never watched the original High School Musical, which I heard was pretty good.
It's good, but it's not. It's very different than the series.
Yeah.
The series is more drama enforced.
Yeah, the other one is more cookie cutter, right? Disney, more old school Disney stuff.
Yeah, it's a musical.
Yeah, I mean, people who are listening to this episode, when we're going into great detail about Cagney's 1931 Public Enemy and Time of Your Life and Dog Day Afternoon. I don't know how we got to High School Musical, the series, but we're there, baby. But that's the diversity. That shows you we don't just like the old, the Oldmans. We like the youngmans.
We like the Newmans.
We like the Newmans. All right, this is a good one, everyone. Again, send your emails to top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. Let us know your favorite picks. Let us know anything you think of the show. Let us know. We'll take a little poll. I'm going to do a poll on Twitter maybe. How many people want the doctor back? How many don't? I know one.
No.
I know one that doesn't. I know
Yeah.
I know two in your house that doesn't.
Oh.
Maybe more, possibly more, even Jedi.
Oh, he's cute.
All right, Aaron, this is a great one. We'll see you next time.